Day 7 of my retention journey, feeling absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I haven't, in the last 7 days, I have not had much of any temptation, especially during my normal routine spaces of time. You know, for me, first thing in the morning, that's when I have the urge. But I've already changed up my morning routine in such a radical way that it hasn't even come to mind these last 7 days. I want you to understand that there is a man that is 1,000 times greater than who you are right now, lying dormant within you. On another dimension, on a parallel timeline, there is a version of you that is 1,000 times better than you are right now. There is a version of you that has unlimited money, unlimited power, has a physical body like a Greek god. There is a version of you that has everything that you could possibly dream of and more. And you, right now, have the potential to go out and to step into that reality and manifest it in your reality. And this journey is part of that creation. I believe that retention is a test. You see, I believe that this reality, life, it's just a game. And all games have challenges, have obstacles, have pitfalls. The purpose of those challenges, those obstacles, those pitfalls is to become better at playing the game, to learn the moves, the tactics, the strategies over, through, under, around those challenges. So we come to this reality with a certain set of challenges that we must overcome in this lifetime in order to fulfill our purpose, in order to step into our greater self, our higher form. And so if you feel that you've been called to go on this journey and to conquer, to temper yourself, to create a stronger, more controlled, more grounded self, then this mission is for you. Because again, like I've mentioned in the last few videos, is that this is not about counting how many days you can go. This is an inner journey. It's an inner challenge. It is to unfold greater potential that's lying dormant within you. Potential that you literally throw away. But learning how to control it, learning how to channel it, learning how to transmute it into higher forms, a higher life form, yourself, the man that you are capable of becoming. Now, I would say in the beginning, you play it like a game. You want to count the days. But then you get to a point where you no longer count the days anymore. It's now who you are. You are that man. Just before I made this video, I was going over my quarterly calendar, and I'm 165 days since I last popped an Adderall. I'm over 250 days since I smoked weed. And I'm 14 days from my last drink. Now, I don't count the weed anymore at all. That's just a part of me. I don't do that anymore. I'm not tempted by it. I don't think about it, because now I've received the blessings that come from overcoming that part of me. You see, because within you, you are a multidimensional man right now, existing on multiple planes of existence. The lowest form of you that is stuck in survival, that's the one that's performing these acts. And you'll realize that, hey, the more you try to just seek pleasure and try and achieve temporary release, temporary escape from your suffering, from your struggle, you'll realize that it's very empty, it's very shallow, it's very superficial. What you really want, what we all want, like the plant seeks and grows in the direction of the sun so that it can get that pure life force energy, so too are you seeking connection with your higher self. That man I told you that's living dormant within you. That's why it's innate in all of us. That when we do this thing in the shadows, in our rooms with closed doors, that's why we're not going around doing it in front of our parents. Doing it in front of, some of us do it in front of our friends, I suppose, real degenerates. Because we know at a deep level or at a higher truth that it's not the best use of our energy. I wouldn't say unfortunately, because again, it's part of the game. The reason why sex, jerking, porn, promiscuity is so normalized, so accepted in 2025, because that's part of the game. It's part of the challenge. So don't resist it. See it for what it is. It's just part of the game. And as you cultivate more personal power, as you cultivate more spiritual power, you will see it for what it is, and it will no longer have any effect on you. Once you desexualize your mind, where you no longer see women as just sexual objects, then it doesn't affect you anymore. The reason why most men are intimidated by women or feel a certain way when they're around beautiful women or women they find attractive is because they're sexualizing them. Part of this journey, now that I'm talking about it, is to overcome even that part of the mind. Because again, that's of your lower nature. It's very material. You see, this is the material dimension, the dimension of matter, solid form. Most people identify completely with this dimension. Our goal is to become a man of knowing, a man of wisdom, a higher form where we're more connected with that light, with that divinity. Because the spirit, the essence, who you really are, the greater, bigger version of you, it is non-physical. So when you're stuck in your physical body and you're the slave to your animalistic urges, the urges of the animal body, then you are more disconnected from your higher non-physical self. So again, as I'm talking about it, I'm thinking, hey, my goal, one of my purposes on this journey, because I'm on the same journey, I'm only on day 7. But I've been on this journey before in the past. The purpose, one of my purposes therefore, is to desexualize my mind. And I can already feel it happening to a certain degree. Because I'm seeing more and more, it's like, hey, I know that my message can oftentimes can be misconstrued as misogynistic, or I'm a woman hater, or this, that, or the other. I love women. I find them absolutely gorgeous. I love them. I love femininity, feminine energy, and all that comes with it. But again, part of the game, for me at least, is I'm more focused. I want in this lifetime, what I desire more than a female partner, marriage, or anything of that nature, is I want to develop myself at the highest level I possibly can. When you become a 0.1% man, the dating pool becomes extremely small. Whereas my standards are so high that I don't tolerate bullshit. And I'm unattracted to bullshit. I'm unattracted to shallow, superficial, materialistic people, women especially. And the 99 percentile are just that: drama, trauma, and superficial. And so I'd much rather continue playing this game, now being aware and awake that I am playing a game. And the purpose of that game is self-mastery. It is progression. Hey, let me see how far I can go in this game through practices like meditation, strength training, gathering of wisdom, study. Hey, how can I study for 5 hours a day if I got a girlfriend that I gotta fucking give her attention and I gotta do all this shit for? I don't want that. I don't want that. It's okay if you do want that. That's just not what I want. So I'm playing my game and you play your game. But one thing I talked about in a past video is getting crystal clear on what it is that you want. What do you want? This is your game. You were born alone, you play the game alone, and you're gonna die alone. So it's your game. Take possession of it. When I say this, I mean it quite literally, that there is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have if you are committed to it and you persist in achieving it. So for me, I don't have a horse in your race. I couldn't care less what anybody else does with their life, as long as they don't infringe on my life. But more and more, especially last week being in LA and hanging out with the boys, going out, like I'm 43, going out to a club is fucking gay. I have no desire, it's such a waste of time. I have no desire to do that. I'd much rather be at home studying like a fucking nerd, reading esoteric books, meditating, visualizations, creating hypnosis tracks, counting my shekels, driving race cars, than out there chasing something that's temporary and that costs so much to get. It costs you so much time, effort, energy, and money to get some pussy. So much. So much that, in my opinion, could be invested so much more wisely. But again, you've got to walk the path far enough to wake up and realize that. Because I've been on the path for a long time. Like I mentioned, I've had lifetimes worth of sex. So at this point in my life, I'd much rather see what's on the other end of this path than going down that path any further. If that makes sense. You've got to eat enough chocolate cake every single day to realize that chocolate cake is really not that fulfilling. When you get it every day, or you're chasing it every day. Same thing with anything in excess. So I'm not saying that I would never speak in absolute terms like forever, because I would definitely like to have more kids, but hey, perhaps on the path that I'm on, maybe I'm just meant to have one. I have no idea. I'm not in control. But I know where I'm at right here and now, that for me to get to the next level, for me to embody that higher, the next level of potential that's lying within me, just like I told you, there's a man that's 1,000 times what you are. In order for me to touch that, to embody that, to express that, I know that overcoming this challenge, a challenge that has been the longest standing challenge in my life, it must be overcome. Okay, so again, understand, if you've been called to go on this journey, this hero's journey, it's not easy, but it's only as hard as you make it. Like I've said, is that I know my windows of weakness, let's call it, and I've simply inserted a new program into that window. What I've done is I've created some self-hypnosis recordings with some next level binaural beats, frequencies, that now, as soon as I wake up, in fact, they're going off while I'm sleeping. I have an alarm that goes off at 3:33 a.m. It's very faint, that goes off while I'm sleeping. Then I have another one that's louder at 5, one at 6 that wakes me up, and that's when I put on the headphones, a blackout mask, and I am reprogramming my mind. Because another reason, I mentioned this in another video, is the biggest reason why men relapse is because their only tool is their will. And most men have very weak will. Your will is simply you exercising effort on your physical body. Whereas your physical body's been programmed to jerk it, to sexualize women for years, decades. So you're fighting a battle that you ultimately can't win. What you need to do, and a guaranteed way, and the fastest way to overcome this challenge once and for all, is by reprogramming the mind, because the mind is the expression of the mind. You've programmed the mind to be overly sexual. You've programmed the mind to jerk it whenever you feel stressed, whenever you feel anxious, whenever you feel any discomfort. And waking up in the morning can be uncomfortable, especially if your life sucks. So, let me get a massive rush of dopamine, like a heroin addict would shoot up first thing in the morning. Let me get a massive rush of dopamine to set the tone for the day. But then the shame, the guilt, the whatever you feel right after you're done busting a nut, it just overrides all that dopamine. So you want to find your window of weakness, and you want to break the pattern and insert a new empowering pattern into it. Now, if you're interested, you can check out the link in the description, and you can get access to these powerful hypnosis tracks that I've created with binaural beats, with powerful frequencies, to literally open your subconscious mind and install new empowering programs so that you can override, you can reprogram the old self. So you can check that out. The link is in the description. Join our school community. Join our community of like-minded men so that we can hold each other accountable. We can provide each other with support on this journey, because this journey is a lifelong journey. The game doesn't end. There is not a finish line somewhere. Life is a mountain with no peak. The secret is to just get used to climbing. Every level of life requires you to become an entirely new man. So guess what? If you get to a point where you overcome this challenge and you 10x your life, that will become your status quo. That will become your homeostasis. And then you'll be able to see, and only then will you be able to see what the next level looks like. Coming from experience, once you make $1 million, you realize $1 million is not a lot of money. I got friends who make $1 million a day. It's perspective. So then you're like, okay, I'm a millionaire now. What's it gonna take? What does 10 million look like? And then you've got to grow to that next level. You've got to see what's holding me back. Like an anchor holding me under the water. And what do I need to start doing so that I can get to the next level? That's how the game works. We've got these carrots dangling in front of us. Money, material trophies, actual, loving, committed, fulfilling relationships. Whatever it is for you, I don't know what it is. For me personally, it's self-mastery. You know, it is embodying my highest form. But also, yeah, I'm gonna be a billionaire. So that's cool, you know, living on a yacht, you know, living on the 7 seas. That sounds cool to me. Being a 0.1% man and having experiences only reserved for 0.1% of the population. And then probably realizing that, oh, that stuff is, it is what it is, you know. Once you've had, you know, a steak at a nice steak dinner a certain number of times, it's then no longer exciting, stimulating. It just is what it is. The only reason why it's cool the first time is because you've never experienced it before. Once you've experienced it enough, just like sex, just like all this other stuff, once you've experienced it enough times, then it's like, oh, it's laissez-faire. It's really, it is what it is. What can I do to create everlasting power, energy, fulfillment, magnetism? And what I found is letting go, non-attachment, non-desire, just being, cultivating more peace, cultivating more power, seeing how many push-ups I can do, seeing how long I can meditate, seeing how deep I can go, cultivating that, seeing how much love I can cultivate. But that's my path. You've got to find yours. So that's it, day 7. Remember, there is a man that's 1,000 times. You don't even know how great it is. But in order to get there, in order to experience it, in order to embody it, you must walk the path. You must overcome the barriers. There's no one else that can do it for you. And let me tell you, you might get a windfall. I also know people who have gotten a windfall of success, people who have made millions of dollars overnight in a windfall, and then by the end of the year, they're worse off than they were. Because they weren't ready energetically to receive it. They created it before they were ready. So when they get it, they end up getting rid of it because they don't believe I'm good enough, I'm worthy, I'm valuable, I'm powerful. They don't really believe that. Great example of that, actually, someone who's come across my feed is Steve Will Do It. Go check him out. Guy's making millions of dollars, more money than he could ever know what to do with. He's a drunk, he's a degenerate, he's a gambler, and he's giving all this money away because deep inside, he doesn't feel worthy of it. Ultimately, I predict he will die early from his own sins, from his own degeneracy will kill him because it's just pouring into him, but he doesn't feel worthy. He doesn't feel good enough to have that sort of money. So he gets rid of it as quickly as he can, which will ultimately be his downfall. Same thing, if you get a hot girl, if you get a girl that you feel like is out of your league, to feel that someone's out of your league is to feel that you're not good enough. You are gonna end up being her bitch. Especially if you got money. So, I'll leave you with the greatest advice that I've ever gotten. It's programmed deep within me. Rule number 1, don't think you're the best, you are the best. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.